everyone, welcome to Diorama update number 48. Here are the main things we're going to be talking about today. First thing is it's about dioramas, Cherbourg versus Sicily. Then we got some safety stuff, work, finished Osprey, some shoutouts, and we'll talk about shop guards. So to get into the video, we're going to go ahead and talk about work. Basically, the reason I haven't uploaded in about 3 weeks is because I got a second job, so it's taking up a lot of my time. A lot of my free time that I had that I would normally be, building. So I haven't really had anything to show off to you guys, but now, as you can see, I do. I've got all sorts of figures, got my diorama in a good spot, and I got that Greyhound almost finished, so I can showcase that stuff to you guys. So now that work's out of the way, let's talk about the Cherbourg diorama versus the Sicily diorama. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh man, I love coffee, especially in my Micro Machines podcast mug. All right, anyways, so the diorama you guys see in front of you, y'all probably know as the Sicily diorama. Well, that is no longer the case. I kind of set this on the back burner. Obviously, if y'all saw my last diorama update, I was working on Kursk, which is now on the back burner because that's just like a middle ground diorama. But this one feels way more like Europe, especially Normandy. So I decided to take and look up the history of that unit, the 2nd Armored Division, 82nd Armored Reconnaissance Battalion. I believe it's Company C. I'm not 100% certain there. I've got it all on the computer. But they fought in Normandy, and they helped the 4th, 9th, and I think the 27th Infantry Division push on Cherbourg during that whole campaign. So I've actually got the plaque kind of laid out for you. It's the Operation Overlord Battle for Normandy. I'm not sure how to say the peninsula name, but it's the push on Cherbourg. And basically it's that whole peninsula. If you don't know, to the right of the map would be the beach landings. So you got like Saint-Lô, Cherbourg, all those smaller villages between there. Okay, so this is my second take. The last one took 14 minutes. It's way too long. I'm going to try to get this done in 4. So I'm going to kind of run through the figures real quick. These 3 here are resin. This first guy up here is a resin figure. These 3 are not. And then these 3 here are resin. So let's go and get into it. This is a German prisoner of war. I was able to use oil paints. My first time utilizing oil paints for a wash, and I think it came out spectacular. The details not showing up as well on camera as it is in real life. My lighting at the moment is, for whatever reason, just being shit. But if I shine it directly on you guys, it's gonna be too bright. So this is kind of that nice middle ground. Then we have another German POW carrying a cross. A dead German with oak leaf A pattern on his tunic. Thought this was really neat. My first time doing oak leaf A pattern, and I thought it came out pretty well. You can't really see the detail too much. If I remember, I'll post some pictures at the end showcasing it better in more appropriate lighting. Next, we have a 4th Infantry Division sergeant, and I say he's a sergeant because he has Tamiya sergeant rank, so that's really neat. Thank you, Tamiya, for putting extra rank in the Greyhound kit because it came in handy. But this was really fun. The oil wash, I will never go back to my old school washes. Just like I said, the detail on camera, it's not the same right now. I'm sure I can get the detail later with better lighting, but right now it's not the same. Next we have a dead American who's going to be covered by a tarp laying on the road, so you won't really see most of him. You'll see some of his arms, but they'll be covering his boots and everything. But I try to make this as realistic as possible. Partially open eye, and then I'm trying to make it appear as if like it was gruesome, but like half of his head got taken off. War is a shitty thing, never been, thankfully, but from accounts from other dudes who have been, weird stuff like that does happen. Next, just got a Tamiya little dude here carrying a box, which is down there. I'll glue it on once I'm done. But yeah, look at these decals, dude. Like, those look beautiful. Thank you to Mia. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see here. I don't think, as much of a pain in the ass it is to actually take the time to do decals on figures, because me being me, I like to get things done. That's not been the case. I think I will never not do decals on a figure again. If their uniform had it, I will probably do decals on a figure from now on. This resin guy, I accidentally nicked a hole in his cheek right there. You can kind of see it. So I decided to make it look like he got wounded. So, nice little wound there. It's just after a battle, so you never know what's gonna happen during that time. And this one is probably my favorite figure, next to the sergeant down there, the infantryman from the 4th. Not only is his face really, really nice, and I'll post pictures after if I remember. His rank is good. He looks like his jacket's worn out, but he has, which was an inspiration from Hell Let Loose, the 2nd Armored Division logo, and Hell on Wheels, which was the 2nd Armored Division logo or slogan, written on the back of his jacket. And then something that troops used to do is they would put like where they're from to where they first saw combat. So Texas to France. This guy, really neat. He's got a revolver. Yeah, really nice stuff. And then this guy, I call him Gramps because he looks like he served in the Civil War, and he's just been kicking and going. And you can't really see his eyeballs because of the oil paint, but he's supposed to be looking up because he's going to be looking from the ground up to the 2nd story there. But yeah, really neat stuff. Love resin figures. I don't think, I've got a few figure boxes in the back on my shelf, but I don't think I'll ever buy any more. With the exception of the new Tamiya one that came out. I got a friend from Canada who snagged it for me, and he's going to be shipping it over to me. So yeah, that's all the figures. Went a little over my time, but that's okay. Here is a Greyhound. This thing is my best vehicle yet. Really happy with how this came out. Like the figures, the camera does not do it justice. It's not done. I need to do some mud textures and pigments and it'll be finished. But gave it an oil wash, added stowage with Easy Line. There's a tarp there from a US parachute. So if you didn't know, troops would take parachutes that were just lying around and use them as tarps and scarves, because their uniforms are like cotton. Try to make the vehicle look kind of rusty and nasty and gunky, and going through the hedgerows of Normandy, antennas and all that. So really fun. I'll do a detailed video of this by itself when it's finished. But yeah, I did like tape for the straps and all that. It was really fun. And just to show you real quick, the scarf I'm telling you all about, there it is on his neck. Don't know how well you're gonna see that here, but yeah. So the diorama itself, now this thing I have basically, I would say about 75% built. I still need to do a tree, which is gonna go right in this area, utilizing seafoam. Looking forward to using that stuff. And then I've got a partially dug grave. We're gonna have the metal grates, which is right there. And then I need to do the scaffolding and tiling for both, or for this roof, and then just the tiling for that one. And you can kind of see, I used AK Interactive Putty for the buildings to give it some texture, with the exception of the exposed brick. That's on both sides, or both buildings, if you would. And then on the back of this one, the main house, I put in a 2nd story, as well as a dividing wall for 2 different rooms. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna put there. I know the room with the exposed or open wall right here is gonna have the guys with their binoculars looking out, kind of calling in for naval gunfire and air support. That was a really big thing during the Normandy campaign for the push on Cherbourg. Also got the door primed, and then we've got all the extra weapons and equipment and whatnot that I still need to finish. I got it all primed. I'll be adding straps and painting the wood and giving it an oil wash and all that fun stuff. So that is it for the long-winded talk about my Cherbourg diorama. So if you're looking forward to the actual Sicily version, I apologize. I will eventually do one, but for now, we're just gonna keep it to Normandy. Okay, so moving on to the safety portion of this video. Before you see some safety equipment as well as some commonly used products that us as modelers use in our day-to-day modeling lives. We're gonna go ahead and start off with gloves. These gloves I've been using for quite a while now. They're great. I get them from Amazon for like $8. You get 50. I get the large ones. I'm a smaller dude, like 5'7", and these, even though there's some give in like the palm, the fingers are still kind of tight. And like you can even see my wedding ring and the little panel line on it. Great gloves. I really suggest getting these if you don't use gloves already. You don't leave fingerprints on your stuff and your hands don't get dirty. You don't have to wash them. Besides, you know, getting the sweat off of them. Next, so this is a respirator I got also from Amazon. Originally $50, got it on sale for $30. And what prompted me to get this thing was actually this bottle right here. So the other day I was working on the V22 Osprey from Hasegawa. The first one they did, and the panel lines are like almost non-existent on that thing. So it took a long time. And during that time, I had this bottle open and I'm not kidding, like 3 inches above the open cap the entire time. And around 40 minutes into it, I'm like, I kind of realized, holy fuck, I'm high. I felt high. I had a hell of a buzz. I had a headache. So I was like, okay, I should probably get a respirator. So I went on Amazon, bought a respirator, and for about a day and a half, I had a headache and I was high for about like 3-4 hours. So please, for God's sakes, if you're going to use any of these products, and I know I'm a hypocrite for saying it because I just now finally got a respirator myself, mainly because I thought I was fine with the garage door being open with all the ventilation, but no, was not fine. So these things are toxic, people. If you don't already know, we love them, we use them, but they are toxic as all get out. And especially testers, you can just, the moment you open this thing, oh my God. But CA glue, cement glue, panel liner stuff, all of these things are toxic and bad for your health if you ingest or inhale them, especially over a long period of time. So please, if you haven't already, go get yourself a respirator. This one comes with some goggles, which are really nice. They're super comfortable. And then the mask itself, it has a headband and then one that goes around your neck. Fits super comfortably. Comes with 6 of these fucking canister things. So you've got plenty of use for this. And I think the refills are like $6 for 6 more. I think something like that. It's super cheap. So highly recommend getting one of these just for your health, guys. Especially if you're gonna be doing this hobby for a long time. Just make the investment now. Most of us have a stash anyways. We can skip out on a model or two for a month or two just to get one of these. Forgot to show you guys, I have some bricks I made for this diorama that I totally forgot were in this box. Okay, speaking of the Osprey, here is the commission build V22 Osprey I did for a guy named Corporal Romero from Charlie Cummings 2nd Platoon, 1st Battalion, 4th Marine, 1st Marine Division, August 2017 to January 2020. I currently work with this guy. We work at our shop together. So he requested a V22 Osprey. He was in a helo company just like I was. We flew around in these things all the time. So this is a V22 Osprey landing in the desert, preferably like Channai Palms or Yuma. Got the brownout coming in, got the dried out creek, the desert trees going, swinging by. Super nasty, gunky looking Osprey because these things are just fucking horrific. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase that to you guys because I'm not going to be making a separate video for it. Probably not. There's not enough there in my opinion to actually showcase a second video or an actual video. So this is that video. I tried giving it like nasty, gunky panel lines, and like it's been in use a lot and they haven't cleaned it recently. Tried to make it look like it's landing as well. So, but yeah, the V22 Osprey, guys. All right, moving on from that, we are going into shout-outs. So the first shout-out I'm gonna give is to Paul's Model Workbench. Paul, you're awesome, dude. He comments on like all my videos. Super nice guy, makes some really neat things himself. He does more so like vehicles, like cars and trucks and whatnot. He's doing a lot of group builds. Really nice guy. Go check his channel out if you haven't already. Paul, thank you. I'm glad you got the shop card, and I hope you're doing well, my friend. The next one is Pinto and Customs. I think I've mentioned him before. Really awesome guy. I talk to him almost on a daily basis. Super awesome guy, giving me a lot of advice. He does a lot of really neat things. He hasn't uploaded a lot lately. His last video was 6 days ago. He finished the Focke-Wulf 148 scale. And then the one before that was his end of the year video. He's been super busy with life and things like that. But he's got some really interesting stuff on his channel. Lots of tanks, cars, some planes. Go check out his KV2. That thing was a beast. But yeah, Pinto and Custom, guys, go check them out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last thing to showcase to you guys are shop cards. So I've got two different shop cards, one for my channel and one for the podcast group I'm with. My channel, the one you're watching now, the podcast group, the Micro Machines podcast, where we talk about modeling and military vehicles, primarily tanks, but we started getting into ships and aircraft. But here is kind of our main logo. So if you'd like a shop card showcasing the podcast as well as my own, they're business card size, so you can put them in your wallet wherever you want to put them. Go ahead and email me at Greg, G-R-E-G-G .work, W-O-R-K .life, L-I-F-E at gmail.com. Once again, that's greg.work.life at gmail.com. Email me there, let me know who you are, what your address is, and that you would like a shop card. And probably within a week from you sending me that, I'll have them sent out. Here are the pictures I promised you guys, kind of fast, showing the paratrooper camo with the neck scarf and tarp, showcasing the figures and the Greyhound, some close-ups. These are pictures right after I applied an oil wash, so it's kind of shiny. Here in just a moment, you'll see the German figures, or the German figure with the oak leaf A camo. That was before I added an oil wash, so it kind of dulled down the colors afterwards. Here's the oil drums and gasoline canisters. Then next you got the American tanker with the custom art on the back of his jacket, as well as the inspiration for that from Hell Let Loose. Some of the oil paints I have, some rationing I did. That 24-hour ration pack from an actual picture of a duffel bag. I don't have it anymore, or else I would have added it. Here's some pictures of me in my mask. And that's the video, guys. Sorry for such a long one. I wanted to make up for the last 3 weeks of not uploading. But I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know if there's anything I can improve on, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.